Hey there, guys. So I am here with another Q&A session. This question is from April in Tampa, Florida. She asks, how do I make guests feel really welcome at my wedding? So, this is something I actually hear a lot, which is lovely. It's great that people have this in mind. I think we think of a lot of brides are very concerned with themselves and it's their day. It's not really the case, actually. Most brides are really concerned with their guests and if they're going to enjoy themselves. So they will always want to ask me, how do I make sure they feel really welcome at my wedding? And there's a couple ways to do that. To really, even if you obviously say it to them, thank you so much for coming, but there's ways to make them feel it too. We all know sometimes we can say whatever, but it's how you feel about it that really comes across as meaningful. So there's a couple things you can do. First, have a place to call their own. So by this I mean a seat for them, plenty of seats, space, plenty of seats at the ceremony site. You don't want guests feeling awkward and uncomfortable and not sure what to do. I am always a fan of place cards. In fact, I'm not a fan. I think they should be required. That is obviously a personal opinion, but I think it's a really big way to make your guests feel like you spent a couple minutes of time and effort to make sure that they were at a table with people they knew, that made sure they have a seat with their partner, their guest, their family, whoever. So, it's kind of stressful sometimes for guests when they walk into a reception and they're like, okay, where do I go? What do I do? I want to make sure we get seats together. And then, if they come a little late for whatever reason, they hit the bathroom or they forgot the gift in the car, whatever. And so they feel like late and now they're like, we can't find two seats together. Or even, what if they have, it's a husband, wife, and maybe two kids. They want to make sure they have four seats together. So you really want to make sure that guests feel like you took the time to make sure they feel comfortable. And the first way to do that is having a place to call their own. So this is my seat. This is where I can put my jacket. This is where I can put my purse down. This is where I can know that it's my spot for the evening. Sort of just like, when you go to a restaurant. For some reason for me, I never love those restaurants that are sort of order at a counter and then you find a seat. Because to me it's stressful. It's like, so I've ordered, what if I can't find a seat? How do I find this? I prefer to have a host just tell me where to sit. Because it makes you feel like you have your spot and that's your place for at least however many hours, an hour if it's just dinner or 5 hours if it's a wedding, to call your own, a place that you can really settle in and be comfortable. So that's one thing and something I think is very important. Second, inform them what's going on. No surprises. If there's no dinner being served, let them know. If it's completely outdoors, let them know. Now in the e-course we go over ways to write invitations, to say things like, seaside ceremony, so they know the ceremony will be on sand. Maybe they don't wear stilettos, they wear sandals. Or al fresco dining lets them know, you're going to be basically outside all evening. Bring a jacket. So just no surprises, because then they'll be like, oh, I didn't know I was going to be doing this, and then they're uncomfortable all night. That doesn't really make anyone feel welcome, not knowing what to expect and also being uncomfortable. And then they don't have a good time. And if your guests aren't having a good time, you're going to kind of sense it and you're not going to have as much fun too. So it's also beneficial to you if your guests have a really good time because they will bring the party, right? It'll be a lot more successful than event. Third thing, and obviously this is budget related, but feed and drink them, provide drinks as best you can within your budget. Now, I know everyone has different budgets and sometimes we can't afford to do a full dinner. I'm not even talking to do a 4-course dinner or an open bar all night, but let them know you care by feeding them. Don't skimp on the food. Now, if you can only afford to do, say, light appetizers, then do a quick reception. You cannot do a 6-hour reception with light appetizers. Everyone's going to be hungry and cranky. And understandable if you can't afford the bar, but at least have it there. Make sure it's reasonably priced if people want to buy their own drinks, and maybe provide champagne for a toast or bottles of wine on the table, maybe a first drink, whatever you can sort of come up with that you can afford, but that makes them feel like you care. It's like you wouldn't have people over at your house for a party and ask them to bring all the food and all the drinks, right? So try and keep in mind you are a hostess, you are throwing a party, you want people to feel welcome, and part of that is feeding them and providing them some drinks. Cranky, hungry guests are not fun guests and not dancing guests for sure. And finally, interact with them. Let them know that you notice they're there. I can't tell you how many weddings I've either been a part of or actually attended that I didn't even speak to the bride. That she was on the dance floor with her bridesmaids the whole night. And these were brides I was friends with. And I didn't see her once. And I thought, it's so rude. Like, she didn't even care that we were there. This happened to me at one wedding. But I've seen brides do it with their bridesmaids too, that they spend the whole night with their bridesmaids, which of course, they're your best friends, they're your girls. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I've been married. I have my girls, right? But interact with your guests, dance with them, pull them on the dance floor, go dance in their little circle. Really let them know that you noticed they're there, that you wanted them there, that you're happy they're there, and make them feel welcome. That's the biggest thing. If you, especially, that I saved it for last because it's the biggest thing. You know, you may not be able to afford to feed them this great meal, but even if you feed them this great meal and you don't say hi to them, who cares? Then they're just at a nice dinner, which, you know, is nice, but they're at your wedding, so interact with them the best you can. When you're at the bar, give them a hug, say hi, ask how they're doing, thank them for coming. You really want to interact with them. Let them know you've noticed and care. So, guys, that's it for April. I hope you have a beautiful wedding of your dreams. They're in gorgeous Tampa, Florida. I love Tampa. Sunny, fabulous weather. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to visit the website. It is DIYwedding.bellagraceweddings.com. It's also, there will be a link in the description of the video, and I will answer your questions right here. See you guys soon.
Me again. Feel like you need a little more help? One-on-one help is available in the form of video and online chatting with yours truly in 10 or 20 minute increments. Visit DIYwedding.bellagraceweddings.com for more information. Talk to you soon.